breaking news live from 6 News.
Breaking at noon, 3 people are shot at an ICE facility in Dallas, Texas. It is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. 3 people, all detainees, have been shot at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Dallas, Texas, and the shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Rena Roy has our report.
A heavy police presence at the Dallas ICE field office. You can see multiple law enforcement vehicles and first responders arriving on scene after authorities say gunfire broke out this morning.
Just be advised, it's still active shooter. There's a sniper on the roof.
We had 4 individuals that were shot, 2 of them deceased, including the shooter.
ICE confirming no ICE officers were physically injured.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. Rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
The acting director of ICE, Todd Lyons, speaking with ABC News, saying they believe the shooter was up on another building a few hundred yards away.
It's a secure location where we bring in arrested individuals for processing, for patting down, for transported out, different things like that. So it's a secure location, but it's not covered. And that's where I think the shots came in, from an elevated position down into the location.
There's a lot going on right now in our country. A lot of it's confusing. It's a scary time.
Lyons saying this office has been targeted before.
In this field office itself, there was a bomb threat almost to the day where an individual came up claiming that he had a bomb strapped to him in August. And just in July, we had officers and agents ambushed about 40 minutes away in Alvarado, Texas, by a group with military-style weapons on July 4th. So it just, the attacks and threats on ICE agents just keep increasing, and it has to stop.
That was Rena Roy reporting. For the latest on this breaking situation in Texas, join us for 6 News at 5, or you can always go to our website, WLNS.com.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have more precipitation to talk about across mid-Michigan, not only as we go throughout the rest of our Wednesday, but still a lot more rain that we have to discuss for Thursday as well. Notice on satellite and radar areas north of I-96 still dealing with some very widely scattered rain showers. South of that boundary, while we are still dry, there's still a lot of cloud cover that we have in place. Even with the cloud cover, temperatures up to 70 degrees thus far in Jackson and Hillsdale. We're at 66 degrees here in Lansing, 64 for our current temperature in St. John's. Holding on to the chance for rain as we go throughout the rest of our Wednesday. A few storms possible as well, but there is some dry weather and sunshine in the forecast. We'll talk about it in just a bit. Kirk.
Okay, Kendall, thank you so much. Howell's Planning Commission had a long night as they listened to people concerned over a possible data center until 3 a.m. this morning. Our Kylie Shapansky is here for you now with more on the commission's decision. Kylie.
Kirk, the Howell Township Planning Commission has denied the rezoning that would have allowed more than 1,000 acres of farmland to become the site of a data center. Last night's meeting started at 6:30 p.m. and by midnight it was still on public comment, one of the first things on the agenda. Hundreds filled the Howell High School auditorium, with most residents there to tell the commission they do not want a data center in their town. On Monday, a township official told 6 News that data centers are the future, and he'd rather see his community benefit financially rather than somewhere else. The township assessor estimates it would bring $20 to $30 million to the local economy every year. Those in opposition are asking, at what cost?
One of these data centers takes about at least $3 million or 3 million gallons of water a day to cool it. I don't believe that they have any business being in Michigan. You know, we are one of the largest freshwater holders in the United States. I think it is wrong. I think we really need to protect our waters more now than ever.
Other concerns brought up involved the noise it will bring to the area and the fact that this is a rural town that people move to specifically to get away from big infrastructure. The Planning Commission says its decision is not the final one. The Township Board and Livingston County will have a say as well. We'll continue to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
All right, Kylie, thank you so much. New at noon, a new candidate has announced they will run for the Republican nomination for Secretary of State. This is Anthony Forlini. He has served as the Macomb County Clerk since 2020. Before that, he was a state representative and the supervisor for Harrison Township. He joins a crowded field of candidates seeking to replace the term-limited Jocelyn Benson, with 3 others already seeking the GOP nomination and 3 seeking the Democratic nomination. For those previous announcements, you can go to our website, WLNS.com. We are just 1 week away from a possible government shutdown. Educators and Michigan's labor movement rallied at City Hall today, and they say they want an equitable budget passed immediately. With the due date being October 1st, politicians are under pressure to pass a state budget. They gathered around 10:30 this morning and made their voices heard, calling on Lansing politicians to pass a budget that puts workers, students, and people first. Following the protests, the AFL-CIO and other unions echoed the protesters' concerns. We will hear from some of those from today's event in our later newscasts. The CDC reports that COVID-19 infections are growing in Michigan, and the Ingham County Health Department is still waiting for a shipment of the updated vaccines. Health officials report that as of now, no doses of the updated 2025-26 vaccines are available. They suggest reaching out to your primary care provider or local pharmacist if you're looking for a dose. Health officials say they still recommend that everyone 6 months and older should get updated vaccines as a defense against the illness and hospitalization.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It was a very foggy start to our Wednesday morning across mid-Michigan. At certain points in time, it was even really hard for us to see the dome of the Capitol in the background of our Capitol camera. Now, the good news is, since temperatures have warmed just a little bit since earlier this morning, that fog is beginning to dissipate. However, notice that there is still some reduction in visibility over near Ionia, currently being reduced down to 1¼ miles. Elsewhere, we're at 10 miles in Jackson for our current visibility, so perfect levels, 7 miles for your current visibility over in Mason. We still do also have several chances for precipitation that we have to talk about. Notice on satellite and radar a couple of very widely scattered sprinkles for areas north of I-96. South of that boundary, we are dry at this time, but there is still a lot more moisture off to our south and southwest that is still going to be making its way into our region, not only as we go throughout the rest of our Wednesday, but also as we move into Thursday as well. So another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible across mid-Michigan later on this afternoon and evening. I have mainly dry conditions in the forecast overnight tonight. However, a couple of isolated sprinkles still going to be possible across our area. As our system eventually starts to exit the region, we'll have a few additional sprinkles as we move into our Thursday. Finally, by the time we get into Thursday night, early Friday morning, dry weather expected to return to the forecast. At that point in time, rainfall total is going to be fairly minimal across the area, possibly as much as ½ an inch widespread. A few localized amounts could be just slightly higher than that. Of course, as we move into Friday, though, still a lot of sunshine that we get to enjoy, and it is also going to come along with the return of some above average high temperatures. Outside right now, we're at 66 degrees here in Lansing. Winds very light, 3 miles per hour currently coming out of the north-northwest. Over in Grand Ledge, still looking rather gloomy. Temperatures also sitting in the mid-60s over here. The further south that we go, the less dense that cloud cover is, and thus our temperatures just slightly warmer, currently at 70 degrees in Jackson. And our final stop in Hillsdale, temperatures currently sitting in the upper 60s. We did have a couple of isolated sprinkles make their way through downtown Hillsdale earlier this morning. Notice they only produced 0.02 of an inch of precipitation. High temperatures for today will be topping out at average for this time of year. We'll make it up to 71 degrees across the area, which is still really impressive even with the cloud cover and the sprinkles that we have in the forecast. Overnight tonight, a few additional showers going to be possible. Temperatures cooling down into the upper 50s. 6-day forecast, yes, still does include the chance for rain as we move into our Thursday. But by the time we roll into Friday, you'll notice that we do have a lot more sunshine in the forecast, really impacting our temperatures. We're up to 77 degrees, a high on Friday. 80s returning just in time for the weekend, which is looking like it is going to be picture perfect. And by this time, you know, it's officially fall in mid-Michigan, so we have to soak up all of these nice, warm, sunny weekends for as long as we can.
Well, we needed the rain. We had like 3 gorgeous weeks of, you know, higher temperatures and it was dry. We need the rain and the weekend looks awesome.
Exactly. So it's a win-win-win.
It's all good. Thank you, Kendall. All right, still